Alrighty, so it is race day today. Bit of a dicey weather today, so could see some wet running. So I reckon what I want to do here today is show you guys a bit what we do for the wet preparation. So see some insights on what we do in the car and as a driver as well. Alright, sitting here with one of the engineers, and I want to ask him some questions about the wet and how he changes like his mindset or the car, or what he does to prepare for it. So what do you got for us, Eddie?
Well, I mean, first thing with the wet is the conditions are so different. So wet varies so much from torrential downpour to light drizzle. So I think that's where the difficulty comes in the wet.
Yeah.
And for us, there's matching up of the tyre pressures.
That's probably the
number
first
one. It's probably the fundamental thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With dry or wet, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in the wet, there is a larger scope of operation depending on how much water's on the road, effectively. So we're all about getting the tyres working, and the wet is almost even more important.
Yeah. Do you like the wet, or do you try and, when it rains?
Yeah, I mean, it's another challenge, you know what I mean? And it keeps you on your toes, and it's another way to get
I think it keeps you on the toes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot more, because the changing conditions, like you have to be so on top of different things, whether it's softening or stiffening the car, or if it's just...
we can change the balance, we can change the total stiffness.
Yeah.
Not often we get to do changes specific for the wet, because it's normally you're in the dry and now it rains. But there are some things you can do, particularly the pressures and the bars and the brake bias, probably the other big one too. So
cool.
So it's a good challenge.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I hope that sums it up from an engineer's perspective. Right, so I've got one of the mechanics here from the Cool Drive car, the number 21 car. So I want to ask him about the wet and if he likes it, what kind of prep they do to the car. So what do you got for us, Kieran?
So basically, for the prep for the cars, we'll anti-fog every single window on the inside, and also on the back of the bulkhead and inside the hatch window. And then, depending on what the engineers want, we also change the brake blanks. So because it's wet, it's going to be colder, so we blank the brakes up a bit more.
Yeah, that's a pretty important one.
Yeah, very important. We'll also make sure the screen is clean. We also rain extend the screen as well, so you can get a bit of colour from that.
Yeah, so when it fogs up, you cannot see a thing, and it is just like, you may as well pit, really.
Not good. And same thing, because that thing, we didn't have a wiper 2017.
Making sure that works.
Which was bad, which was very bad.
So
did a wiper arm change during a pit stop, which is interesting.
That doesn't happen often, but do you like the wet?
I don't mind it.
He's come from a rallycross background, so he's used to all the dirt.
Used to a bit wet, a bit of mud.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Gold Coast is a whole other thing.
that was
the last event was like a river.
Yeah, that was
and you are soft and wet, and your suit's nearly 3 kilos heavier. So it's not great.
Cool.
But
All right, thanks, bro. So I've heard from the engineer and one of the mechanics from the team. So I guess for me, for racing in the wet, it's I don't dislike it. I actually quite like driving in the rain. It's a bit of fun. It's a very different, like we sort of touched with the engineer about the changing in conditions. Makes it very hard to sort of judge the level of grip that you've got, and also trying to work with the engineer on what the car is doing at the same time. So it's very tough in those kind of conditions where it's really, really wet and it's very hard to find your line, but you've got to play around a lot more in the wet than in the dry, where your dry lines are sort of set fairly set in stone, whereas in the wet it can be varying at different tracks, where you might go wide line, you might take the inside line, as well as braking points. The braking points are pretty important, so it's very easy to lock a brake in the rain, which is pretty disastrous once you do. So you really got to manage that. You got to change the brake bias and just really search for the grip in there, which changes quite a lot over the distance of a race, really. And this is 10 minutes later. Alright, so we're just about to have some rides in the car. So just passenger rides here, up in New Zealand. You know, we can showcase to some sponsors about what the cars really like. So hopefully I'm going to get some reactions for you. We always get awesome reactions from some people that have never really experienced the supercars. So.
Mate, how was that?
It was ridiculous. They didn't have any cameras on me.
More of a ball sports man.
I can't believe it, but I'm not
It's good workout. It's amazing.
How's it power? I don't know how they do it. Yeah. It's very helpful. It's also very weird. Yeah. It's all the senses as well. It's this weird. Yeah, definitely. It's really cool. Right, I need to get changed for someone else.
Hell of a ride.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
You made it out.
Getting out was easy to get in. I thought I was going to snap my neck off getting in.
Awesome. Here in New Zealand, day one here was just setting up everything. So it was very weird weather, as pretty standard here. I think it was pissing down with rain this morning, then the sun came out and it was all golden. Then it started to rain again, and now the sun is back out and it is that windy. I just drove by some guy on a bike, poor guy, like not even moving nearly. So I felt a little bit bad for him, but anyway. So now I'm at the gym. It's one of my favorite gyms to go to, so I'm pretty excited. So I've been to this gym a couple of times before. It's in East Tamaki. It's CrossFit East Tamaki here. So there are really good athletes at the gym. The coaches are really cool. It's just an awesome place, like pretty old school. Got some old equipment, but it's yeah, really good. It's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger was here. You know, I feel like he was training some older sort of gear, but it's just that kind of vibes. Just everyone loves it. It's cool. So the Baptist churches is selling fireworks for charity. What a great cause, because people buying it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a holy thing to do, really.
Oh.
You'll probably support
You only sell them for one night or 2 nights?
4 nights.
4 nights.
Now you can let them off 365 nights a year.
Yeah.
But you can only sell them for 4 days.
Yeah,
Stupid. It's ridiculous.
Oh, so they're legal here, totally legal.
Yeah.
But you can't buy them.
Yeah, you can stop.
So does that mean you have to make them?
Eh?
Does that mean you have to make them?
Yeah, I'll just go to the kitchen and make it some more.
Oh, that is going to be annoying as shit.
Is that a cop?
Well, it should be illegal as fuck.
Hello?
Hey?
Probably not.
No.
Alrighty, I'm sorry we didn't realise. Thank you.
What do you mean? It's not public.
We're gonna get arrested.
Well, that was very casual. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you like and subscribe below. Yeah, this is my trip from New Zealand. I had a lot of fun over here. Unfortunately, I wasn't racing, but it's always good to go and watch, see what you can learn from the whole team, and see what we can improve on as well. So it's exciting times.